For the 2013 V2 release of RTA, several changes have been made to the RISC module. Of particular note, the enhanced fracture region model is now supported by RISC, thus allowing much more flexible reservoir configurations to have uncertainty analysis carried out on them. RISC also now has the ability to handle multiple fluids. Within RTA, RISC now handles condensate forecasts. With P90, P50 and P10 forecasts being generated. As well as a condensate EUR and cumulative distribution function. Other plots now available on RISC relate to the horizontal multi-frac models, and now the following can be generated. An area of stimulated reservoir volume histogram and cumulative distribution function, original gas in place in the stimulated region histogram, and original gas in place in the stimulated region cumulative distribution function, as well as a drainage area cumulative distribution function. A feature that is different from the last version of RISC is that the drop-down menu that sent the forecast to Analysis Manager is missing. Now instead, the P90, P50 and P10 forecasts are automatically sent to Analysis Manager. And every time a new RISC run occurs, the forecast will be automatically updated, meaning that any forecast put in declines need not be updated. However, if you do not want a forecast to be overwritten when running a new RISC scenario, changing the original forecast name in Analysis Manager will preserve the original forecasts. Another new feature of RISC relating to forecasts has to do with how the analytical model and how the initial sand face pressures in the forecast are determined. Like before, you can enter your own custom initial sand face pressure. However, if you delete this value, the model will use the last flow rate and the model itself to recalculate what the initial sand face pressure should be. The advantage of this is that it allows the P90 and P50 and P10 forecasts to all converge to the same initial rate as shown here. The final new feature of RISC relates also to sand face pressures. In the previous version of RISC, it was possible to carry out risk analysis on initial sand face pressure. However, the drawback was that if ramp was selected, only the initial sand face pressure could be risked. Practically speaking, the initial sand face pressure is not really a value you want to be changing, as ideally you want it to be your last measured pressure. Instead, however, the final sand face pressure is the one that should be subject to uncertainty. So now when ramp is specified, the PWF in the risk parameters is linked to the final sand face pressure, thus allowing risk to be carried out on it. A point of note here is, though, that it is only valid for the first row of pressures in the forecast. Additional rows of sand face pressures will not be subjected to risk analysis.